Welcome back. So unfortunately today we're getting more bad news. Bitcoin actually held pretty well. In fact, it's a little bit higher than this morning, but we're still down versus the weekend. But overall, Bitcoin is just going sideways, which is fine. But we have some bad news. In fact, maybe some terrible news. And I'm actually quite surprised that we are holding as well as we are. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 62.3. Okay. So yes, we're a little bit lower than the weekend, but overall, we started out the day actually lower, and then we actually climbed up a little bit. Okay. And this is surprising because, stocks sold off sharply today. Asia sold off yesterday. This morning, for us, stocks sold off quite tremendously. People are wondering about Saylor. Saylor pushed his cash reserve upwards. Okay. And people are wondering about the Clarity Act. Okay. What? Are we going to get some kind of resolution? Trump is pushing for it, right? But there are a lot of things going on right now that are more pressing. For example, this is one of the bad news I was referring to. Trump has formally notified Congress that the U.S. is at war with Iran. Right? So I don't know how this is different than before, because I thought his war powers limited to 60 days. Now he's officially telling Congress. So before, I guess he didn't tell Congress. So I don't know how that works. Okay? So he has 60 days to use the military. Says that strikes that began on July 7th represented military action consistent with my responsibility to protect American and U.S. interests. Okay? And said he would hit Iran hard tonight. I don't know what that means, but yeah, he's going to strike. So all this talk about back and forth, trying to negotiate, trying to get the ceasefire going, doesn't seem like it's working, and there will be something, okay? He also proposed a 20% toll on cargo ships through the Hormuz. This was something that we were doing to help, and now we want to charge tolls for it. Interesting. This is what Iran was doing, and we said no, and now we are proposing to do the same thing, and we're restarting the blockade. And because of this, oil jumps up 9%, the biggest daily gain since 2020 after the blockade happened, right? So none of this is good news, obviously. All this is pretty bad, which is why I said Bitcoin not reacting much to this is actually pretty darn good, right? But overall, I don't think markets appreciate this. People want to see this over. Now it's escalating again. Now there's a blockade. Now oil is going up, and this affects inflation. So Trump is going to deliver a speech on Thursday, okay? Probably announcing the official war with Iran. I'm guessing that's what it is, unless both sides negotiate something and he declares that, it's officially over. Otherwise, I think most people think that this will be announcing war with Iran, which, of course we've already started, but I'm not sure how much more it's going to escalate to, I guess. So this is what we have to look forward to. And also tomorrow we have this to look forward to. We have a CPI report, okay, to measure inflation. And obviously, with the oil elevated, prices are going to go up, and CPI inflation reading has been going up. On Wednesday, we have another one too. But tomorrow, we will get CPI report. And if inflation goes up too much, one of our Fed Waller, warns that it could actually push us to tighten monetary policy. So we've been waiting for rate cuts. This actually might push us toward rate hikes. Yeah, that's right. Hikes, not cuts. we were supposed to get cuts. Now we may get hikes because of elevated prices, because of inflation, and the war is not good for it. And, you know, the new Fed Chair Walsh, we've been hoping that he's going to be more dovish, more pro-cutting, but his hands are really tied if inflation continues to go higher, right? So there's the FOMC later this month, and I guess he's talking in front of Congress. He's going to be asked a lot of questions about inflation, whether or not we're going to cut, and probably he's going to ask whether we are going to hike, and that's not good for the economy. That's not good at all for markets. So this is why I'm saying we're facing a lot of bad news, and this is not it. There's something else, and it may be a coincidence. It may be misinterpretation, but this also came out that the U.S. government transferred about 183 million of their Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime. Now, you could argue this could be because they're trying to custody it with Coinbase, or you could say that they're getting ready to sell. But I thought Trump said that all the confiscated Bitcoin will never be sold, so I'm not sure what this is. But I will say, before Saylor sold, people also saw that. People also saw he transferred Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime. People didn't want to believe it, and it did lead to selling. So not really sure what to interpret, and people are wondering what happens if the U.S. government starts selling, maybe to fund the war, right? I don't know. It's not a good look because Trump is still pushing for the clarity bill. He wants it to pass this week. Obviously, he has a lot of self-interest, family interest in Bitcoin. And he said the Bitcoin Reserve, you know, the Treasury Department and others are looking to add Bitcoin. So to sell this much right now does not make a whole lot of sense. And right now, Bitcoin and Ethereum tweet volume falls to 12-month low. I could tell, right? Like even on CryptosRus, our tweet volume has gone down quite a lot. So many other accounts that you may be following, same thing. That's why a lot of people have pivoted completely to AI. They're not even trying to relate it back to crypto. We're trying to do something different. Obviously, I'm doing a lot with AI with Ask Clash, and we have a separate account for it. But with CryptosRus, we're still trying to relate AI to macro, to crypto, to something to deal with economy. But there are others that just completely pivoted, and that's not what I'm hoping to do. But yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff going on right now, okay? A lot of bad stuff. But we will get through it. We'll get through it together. And quite honestly, I'm surprised that Bitcoin is holding so well, okay? Despite the sell-off, despite all the bad news. So hang in there, guys. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, go check out Ask Clash and utilize the features. Learn more about the situation, what's going on, what happens if CPI misses. Is it going to spark a bigger sell-off? I mean, there are a lot of pre-made questions if you can't think of something, but also you can ask yourself, or you could simply discover new things and check out the tools that we have to help you decide. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.